How about that final play for Immortals against CLG? That was a highlight.
Yeah, I mean, I tweeted immediately after. I was like, I love this play. I want to know who did it. Obviously, the immediate go-to answer is everyone's like sOAZ. It has to be sOAZ. After in the post-match interview, Xmithie did say, it was sOAZ. I really loved that play because I think at that point CLG had their Dragon Soul. They were probably going to end up beating Immortals in a 5v5. So I really loved that call because they were like, you know what, the game ends here either way, and this is one of our openings, right? So they kind of just made the most of the fact that sOAZ's Ornn was so tanky, it was taking them such a long time to kill him that they could just TP in it and knock down the Nexus. I really loved that play.
To talk about Xmithie there too, because we sort of saw it at the top of the screen before they went to base to see the end of the match, but Xmithie stopped the channel there, and I think that was very important to the play as well.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you have something like that, you really need to just stop people from killing your two that are trying to get to the Nexus, right? So I think the most important thing about this play is that there didn't look like from what we could see on the Rift that there was any hesitation, which bodes really well for Immortals, right? Because it means that even if someone sOAZ is just like, hey guys, we're going for this, it's gonna sound crazy, but let's go, it means that everyone's all in immediately, right? And despite the fact that I am not going to point to this game and say it was the highest level of League of Legends, I think that in and of itself bodes well for Immortals, because it does mean that when push comes to shove and they have to make a call like that, that the entire team is going to follow up.
And the funny thing is that's not the first time that Immortals was pushing down mid lane while they were conceding an objective. They gave up Dragon Soul as well when they were pushing down mid lane and kind of...
I mean, NA teams love to push down mid lane.
Right? That's kind of like our
that's one of the things they know how to do.
NA RAM, I mean, let's just push it down mid, push it down mid. I agree 100%. Beautiful play, great call. Game was going to end either way. Let's take this chance and let's do that. But props to CLG for some of the early game moves that they made. They had some aggression that they tried to capitalize off of. They went a little bit too far around the 12-minute mark where they tried to dive Xmithie, a 3-person dive on Xmithie in the bot lane. He just leased up, survived, and from there, Immortals was able to slowly collapse down onto CLG, get a couple kills. Stixxay they were like, oh, you want to dive? We'll dive you. And they dove Stixxay under the mid lane tower. Then they dive Crown a little bit later under the bot lane tower. And from there, the game was a little bit more of an even punching match up until that final play that Emily just described.
So Emily, Immortals are now 4-2. They are at the top of the tables, other than CLG, Cloud9, of course. Are you surprised by this at this point in the season, or are they exactly where you thought they'd be?
So I talked to Immortals prior to the season. I had a chance to embed with the team. This is actually before sOAZ and Ika even came to, they were arriving that day, the day that I visited. But the thing I got from the team is that all of these players are, feel like they really have something to prove. Altec coming back, Ika coming over, and his pickup being kind of universally panned. Xmithie wanting to start fresh with another team where he can maybe take more of a veteran role in leading the entire team rather than having a team of established veterans like what he had on TL. I didn't want to like this team, but I do. I think the most important thing though, and the thing that I can point to, because again, like if you look at Immortals, they're kind of in that pack that we predicted would exist, where it's going to be one team at the top and then a pack. We thought the team was going to be Team Liquid, but we'll talk about that later. There's this pack of teams that is all kind of even with each other and trading games. The fact that IMT is at the top of that pack, that is surprising to me. But did I think they were like going to go winless, like a lot of people said? No. I have a lot of faith in sOAZ just in terms of his intelligence about the game. And I have a lot of faith in Xmithie for the same reason, just he's very intelligent about the game itself. And I think when you are making a team and those are your two veterans, I think that team is always going to do some interesting things. Again, not the best League of Legends we've seen, but in terms of making those super decisive calls, I actually do like what I've seen from Immortals, even if they've looked, you can look at those games and be like, well, this wasn't exactly the best, in terms of general performance. I think when it's time to close out the game, they make decisions, and that's actually really huge, especially in North America, where I think across the board, the largest criticism I could make of a lot of teams is just that they're really indecisive.
So
I just think I agree. I've always been a fan of sOAZ. I mean, people kind of forget, like, he's been to Worlds, I think, every year except for last year, I believe. So that's veteran leadership that you can't buy at all. On top of that, you have Xmithie, who just wins championships, that he's just accustomed to that, and he's done that on 3 different teams, from CLG to Team Liquid to Immortals before. I think coupled with that, and exactly what Emily said, like that kind of veteran leadership, they can help make those decisions. They've been on those big stages before, and to them, that's just another day at the office to make those kinds of decisions. So I'm excited. I think this is a good win for them. It gives them some momentum coming into the week 4, and we'll see what they can do with it.